Welcome back to Morning Coffee. I am your co-host, Mark Iorio, along with Lisa Manyoky, and we've got Dr. Gerald Smith with us today. Doc, what's going on?
Well,
we haven't seen you in a while on Morning Coffee.
Yes. Well, I stopped drinking coffee, that's why.
Oh, no. We missed you.
You're drinking Fiji water now, right?
Well, Fiji, and I made some fresh green juice this morning. It's like Sunoco racing fuel.
God,
Okay, what did you put in it?
Kale.
What's in the green juice?
Vodka, old granddad, all the good stuff.
What did you make it with, really?
Carrots, beet, celery, and Granny Smith apples, and it tastes delicious.
The greens or all of it?
Then I put a teaspoon of pure Synergy, which is really like Sunoco racing fuel. I mean, I feel 21 again. It's unbelievable.
Wow, you look 21.
I feel 21 mentally, anyway.
Oh God, we're great to have you back. I mean, we're talking about energy medicine today, right? And how if you have great soil, in a sense, right?
Right.
That the body is not attacked the way it normally is. So, we talk about building up your immune system, and throughout this whole pandemic, I'm sorry, Doc, I didn't hear anyone on the news, the mainstream media, talking about building up their immune system. It was all about, taking care of the symptoms, putting on masks that didn't work, really.
Right. Well, the key is they had to downgrade the natural remedies that were out there because they don't bring as big a profit as, like Remdesivir, for example. If they get you in the hospital, a little bag IV is $4,000.
$4,000, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to attack this in a kind of a different way, right? We're going to talk about it in terms of insects and plants. And the first question that we're going to talk about is, why don't insects attack healthy plants?
Well, it's real simple. When the plant has good soil that it's growing in, its energy is very high and its aura is very strong.
Yep.
And the insects sense it and it deters them. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Wait, any plant or?
As long as plastic plants don't have auras.
There we go.
A living plant.
Oh my goodness! Thank you for that clarity. Now,
Now you're good, right, Lisa?
But I mean, I never thought of a plant as having an aura.
It's living.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. I mean, you have
Yeah.
healthy cells, right?
Sure.
I mean, when you look at a healthy plant, it's got real good green color to it.
Right. Not only that, think about it. You buy produce and 2 days later it's wilted and brown. Why?
Yeah.
Because of lack of minerals in the soil, and that's why it deteriorates so quickly.
Yeah. So let's move over to the human body, right? Does it apply to humans as well?
100%. If you have illnesses or nutritional deficiencies, your aura is going to be weak, and your immune system is going to low, so you're going to be more prone to Omicron or COVID or any flu or any infections, because your defense mechanism can't handle it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like such common sense.
But common sense, as my grandmother said, has to be learned.
Common sense is not so common.
Right.
And it's not profitable, right?
Right, exactly.
All right.
So talk about the science behind this, Doc, because I think a lot of people, they look at this and we talk a lot about, in our business, first of all, cultivating good soil for a good culture in an organization, right? That means you cultivate your people. In this case, we're talking about healthy soil for healthy plants. When we talk about healthy immune system for healthy humans, there's got to be evidence that backs that up.
100%. It goes back to the 1970s. There was a Russian researcher by the name of Vail Kosnechev. He did 20,000 meticulous experiments in which he took 2 glass flasks, one with healthy cells, one with sick cells. We put them next to one another. So there was not a direct contact between the 2 contents. After several hours, the healthy cells became sick. And his conclusion after 20,000 meticulous experiments was that the sick cells were giving off biophotons or frequencies of pathology, and it passed through the flask and affected the healthy cells. Well, the same thing is true in the human body. And the key in the whole equation is keep your immune system high. Because let's face it, we have at least 1 to 3 trillion viruses, bacteria, fungi in our body in any given time. And so when your immune's strong, it keeps everything under control. When you get emotionally stressed out or you eat too many donuts for breakfast or whatever, guess what? It suppresses your immune system and you get sick.
Elaborate a little bit more about the frequency issue.
Well,
What does that mean?
Well, everything in the universe vibrates at a signature frequency. So the key is the sun gives off biophotons. They're stored in the plants. So when you eat the raw plant, you get the biophotons. Your body is vibrating at a healthy frequency. The DNA in your cells is vibrating at 528 hertz. So if you go to a dentist and get a mercury filling in your tooth, mercury leaks out 24/7, it scrambles your DNA because mercury gives off between 13 and 20 different frequencies. It disrupts the healthy frequencies in your cell. If you eat dead food, okay, like, buy our emergency kit, it lasts for 25 years. Well, if an insect can't survive off of that food, how's it going to be helpful to you?
Exactly.
So it lowers your frequency of your body, and when it lowers it, the DNA gets disrupted.
Right.
Okay, and then you become vulnerable.
Absolutely.
So when you talk about changing frequencies in the human body, Doc, how can we as human beings correct that? Because a lot of times it's interesting. Just a kind of an anecdotal story, but in an environment, I'm sure you've been in an environment where your body is just not reacting properly. You're either sneezing, your eyes are watering, you feel congested, and you go into another environment and you feel fine. And it's like, what was the change? Well, your body's reacting to whatever's in that environment, right?
Absolutely.
So how do you change the frequency? How do human beings change the frequency in the body?
Well, it's real simple. You have 2 approaches. One, eat organic fruits and vegetables that are living. You increase your biophotons, your energy in your body, your aura manifests, it gets improved. The other way is you can have access to the Tesla Energy Card, which is a little device that I developed, and it has healing frequencies embedded in the magnetic strip. So you literally can take this, put your water on it, and in 3 minutes, you can drink it and you'll have the healing frequencies in the water, and it dissipates through your body. Now just think about it. A whale sings songs in the ocean. It travels for hundreds of miles. Why? Because there's minerals in the ocean, and minerals conduct sound waves. Well, our bodies are 70 to 80% fluid.
Right.
So if you swallow a vitamin pill or medication, it has to get absorbed in the gut and into the bloodstream and then start traveling around. When you drink a frequency in the water, it permeates immediately from head to toe. It's that efficient.
It's also interesting that you say that because, I don't know, I don't have any experimental data to back this up, but when you're in an environment where you've got well water and it's not purified, like Fiji water is good water, but you're changing the frequency in the water itself. But when you're in an environment where you've got well water and you're not filtering that water properly, it has an impact on your body,
Absolutely.
on your system, right?
Yeah.
Even showering, right, Doc?
Well, sure, because your pores are open from the hot water. You're getting chlorine in there, fluoride if they have it in your municipality. And guess what? If someone is getting chemotherapy or taking medication for high blood pressure, they're urinating it out, they don't take out these drugs in the water supply, so you're getting homeopathic doses into your system. So it's really scrambling, the physiology of your body.
So how is a person in an average household supposed to combat that?
Well, one of the other choices to raising your frequency is I have a website called immunitybynature.com.
Yep.
And literally, you can dial in from your cell phone, your smartphone, iPad, laptop, desktop computer. And so, for example, you can get on there and get a general frequency. It's called Scalar Energy and 18 Healing Frequencies. You take your water, you put it on here, you literally play you play the frequency, it's in a video form, and it's imprinting your water. It's that efficient, that quick, and then you drink it. It's just miraculous.
Do you have? Is there a download there? Do you have to sign up for that, or?
Yeah, it's a subscription. There's
Okay.
3 programs in there. It covers all kinds of medical issues.
That's pretty cool. So tell us how. I mean, you started to tell us a little bit how it works, but how does it actually work when you use your cell phone or your tablet or something, Doc? You dial into the website, right? And anything, coffee, water, anything you put on that?
You can. Yeah, the bottom line is, I've been playing around with this energy medicine for a good 6 years, concentrated effort. I have very sophisticated electronic equipment from Germany. It has a Tesla coil in there. I literally can clone a medication. So for example, a good friend of mine, he was on Armour Thyroid, which is a prescription. It wasn't working for him. He was like bonking in the afternoon. So I said, okay, Sherwood, come on up to the office. So I literally took another frequency from another prescription called Westroid, which is cleaner, much more physiologically affected. I imprinted into water, and he took it. He called me up 2 days later. He said, Jerry, I've never felt this good in all my life. So you literally, with the technology of this electronic equipment, I can clone the frequency of a drug, of a vitamin, of a homeopathic, of a mineral, and capture it and store it into a database, and then through this other technology that I developed, put it into an MP4 video, and when you play it, it imprints it into. Now, there's an interesting case that I listed. My secretary, she was attacked by shingles in her leg about 2-3 years ago. I didn't know that. I was just doing preliminary baseline tests with her. I stood her in front of the router in the office, and I muscle tested her. She couldn't hold her arms up. I took her crucifix. I imprinted it with the same frequencies of this particular program, scalar energy, 18 helium frequencies. I couldn't get her arms down. 2-3 weeks later, she comes over to me and says, Dr. Smith, she said, I didn't mention this to you, but 2 to 3 years ago, I had a shingles attack on my leg. I was left with nerve damage. I had to wear a lidocaine patch because of the itching and discomfort for the 2 to 3 years. She said, since you treated my crucifix, everything's gone.
Wow.
And the way it works is that your aura is an extension of your autonomic nervous system. So the fact that the crucifix had the energy pattern in it, it was directly affecting her aura or energy pattern, which was then healing the body. It's amazing technology.
So I got more of a medical question for you, but when you're ingesting a pharmaceutical drug, right? And they have they're compounds, right?
Right.
So they attach themselves to cells. How does this differentiate from that, physiologically, Doc, and this frequency changes that you're embedding into the body?
Thought you would never ask. Every cell has a receptor, and it's just like your key fob. How's it work? You have a transmitter, right?
Yep.
Your car is a receiver.
Okay.
It picks up the signal from your key fob, opens up the door. Every cell has a whole bunch of receptors.
Okay.
The frequency stimulates the receptor, and it's called epigenetics. Then the receptor stimulates the organelles inside the cell to change the physiology. So you can change it for better or worse, depending on the frequency that's coming in.
Wow. Wow.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So one localized infusion into a crucifix, one item,
Yeah.
can affect you systemically?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And this is, see, conventional medicine, they don't have a clue about this technology. It's ancient technology. They knew about auras thousands of years ago. And, chanting is frequency.
Right.
When they're chanting in, wherever, the monasteries and all.
Sure.
The Gregorian chant. I mean, I'd love to listen to it. Listen to Eye of the Tiger, right? Rocky. You get charged up. Why? Because it's the frequency in the music. The old classic maestros, they knew how to turn on certain emotions by putting certain notes into their music. You can stimulate the liver, your gallbladder, your spleen, whatever. They knew that.
That's interesting.
Now, when I used to train in martial arts, my teacher, we called him Sabanim, had a big wall of little drawers, and in it were all different types of herbs. And he used to combine them. They were all natural, and sometimes the smell, I said, it smells like you're cooking sneakers. But something like
But
that.
not Nike sneakers don't smell.
But it was remarkable that, he then he'd give you some result of that, which was to either purify or to amplify or do something positive. So is this along the lines of other the frequency? Does foods, the good plant foods that you
Absolutely,
ingest?
absolutely.
So that's not water and liquids, it's foods,
Yes,
the whole deal.
Okay, Lisa, think about it. The food is a matrix, and it's carrying the frequency into the body. A drug is a matrix carrying the frequency of the molecules into the body. A homeopathic remedy has no original substance, but a frequency in the remedy. So my philosophy is, let's cut out the middleman. Let's just give you the essence of healing, which is the frequency. It retunes, the cells, and they start to work quickly.
Yeah. We've talked about this a lot. You just said it a few minutes ago, conventional medicine. It's really not conventional medicine.
Right.
It's atypical medicine. It's, they've made it so that it becomes, everything's synthetic, right? It's
Exactly.
not, it's not homeopathic.
Right, and synthetic drugs and vitamins really don't have biophotons. That's why they don't heal. They're changing the physiology chemically, but they're not supplying the energy so the body can really heal itself.
You mentioned COVID earlier, Omicron, and even the flu. Does this work against that as well?
100%. In fact, my IT guy, Jared, called me up back in October. He came down with, I call it the seasonal flu, because we didn't do any testing or anything. But anyway, he said, what should I take? I said, you have access to the immunitybynature.com. Download or expose the water to ivermectin. I have the frequency of the drug, okay? He took it twice a day for 3 days. After 48 hours, he said, I'm 100% normal. And in fact, I think we have the video of his testimonial.
Yeah, production can run that video. That would be great.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Jared Tangier. I've been a member of the Frequency Shop since probably early November, maybe late October. And sometime around Thanksgiving, my whole family and I was the first one. I came down with what we think was COVID. However, none of us ever got tested. But I had severe muscle fatigue and just overall fatigue. Slept for about, 20 hours. And after the first day, I started using the ivermectin frequency. I did it once in the morning when I woke up I imprinted a glass of spring water. And then about 2 days later, so I took 2 doses of that and I was back to 100%. So I truly believe in the power of the Frequency Shop. Thank you, Dr. Smith, for opening this up, especially at a time when the treatments and the cures for coronavirus are readily available but being suppressed. So I'm grateful to have the Frequency Shop available to me and to my family. My wife, about a couple of days later, did come down with similar symptoms, no real headaches or things like that, but she did have severe fatigue and sinus congestion, and she actually used, per Dr. Smith's recommendation, the hydroxychloroquine frequency, and same thing, 48 hours later, she was 100% fine. So I can't sing praises enough for the Frequency Shop, and thank you, Dr. Smith, for making this available to all of us.
Welcome back. That was great. Jared, right?
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, Jared, he was great. I mean, I've watched that video a number of times, and it's pretty incredible. I mean, you sit here and you think, how can this be possible? Because over the 60 plus years that I've been on this earth, you're programmed to think that medicine, right, what we called conventional medicine for so long, actually works. And I mean, this innovative technology is just a delivery system that you've developed, Doc.
It's so simple.
It is. Well, you say it's
Well,
simple, but it's not simple because
I know.
you've been working on it for so long. But
Yeah, you know, there's an interesting quote by Louis Brandeis, and he said, anything worth doing that's innovative is considered impossible before it's done.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
This is fascinating to me. I mean, having touched this world a little bit,
Yeah.
what do you say to the person who's got a genetic predisposition towards something? Will measures like this intercept it, or?
Well, my clinical experience has been, in all the information I've read, and the Russians have done tremendous research in scalar energy, that the DNA is fixable because frequencies. Again, there's certain, well, back in the 70s, Fritz Albert Popp discovered, for example, that all carcinogens, chemicals that cause cancer, block a specific frequency in the body which prevents the DNA from healing itself. So it just shows you that it's the frequency that is doing the healing. And if the body can't get the right frequency to heal, the DNA gets corrupted, then it starts replicating corrupted DNA again, and you get illness. The key in the whole equation is that if you drink structured water, it has a frequency of 528 hertz. That helps to reset the DNA in your cells.
What do you mean by that?
Structured water. Yeah.
Structured
What is
water,
that?
if you pour it over like stones, for example, the fact that it's crashing into the little stones as it trickles down realigns the molecules of the water, and that's structured water. Interestingly, there was a Russian researcher who literally discovered that the people around Chernobyl, you know, that was back in, what, 86, I think
Yeah,
it was?
something like that,
Somewhere around there. The people that were drinking water from a certain stream in there didn't get radiation sickness or die.
Wow.
They were drinking, and it took them 13 years to figure it out, but it was the structured water that protected their body from the radiation.
Interesting.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. So, Doc, what other I'm talk to you all day about this.
That's fine,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, we have to go at 9 o'clock, but I mean, we could talk to you all day about this. So, what other health issues can be, you know, changed, modified, healed through the frequency shop?
Well, it's interesting. I was at the dinner with my lady friend a couple weeks ago, and she said, you know, feeling a little bit depressed. I said, okay. Well, I have all the frequency programs on my phone. She was drinking chamomile tea. So I said, well, give me your cup of tea. I put the cup of tea on my phone. I played the video for depression, the frequencies, and she drank it. And by the end of the meal, she says, yeah, I'm feeling so much better now. It's
But
that
isn't
quick.
chamomile tea, isn't that supposed to put you to sleep?
Well, it calms you down.
Relax.
down,
It's
okay.
a
Yeah,
relaxer,
but
yeah.
I imprinted the frequencies to modify the serotonin
Right.
and the neurotransmitters in the brain. And it, like I said, the liquid gets into your body and the frequencies dissipate through the liquid from head to toe very, very quickly.
Could you do that with any liquid?
Of course.
How about wine?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Lisa. If you take an inexpensive bottle of wine, and this is God's honest truth, and you put it on the Tesla card, the one with the scalar energy, because my good friend, he's retired down in Naples, and his wife didn't believe him until they were out to dinner, and he had one of my cards, and they put the wine on the card he did it for 15 minutes. You don't have to do it for that long. And then had another glass of wine that wasn't treated.
Okay.
Well, when his wife Barbara tasted the two, she says, wow, that tastes like a $100 bottle of wine now, because it realigns the molecules. That's why expensive wine tastes so good. The molecules are aligned. Whereas inexpensive wine, the molecules are like chaotic, and you can change it with the frequency card.
That's
And does it alter flavor? Then you're saying
No, it
so
makes
she-
it much better. It tastes like an expensive bottle of wine.
There you go. It pays for itself.
And then some.
So there's
really.
And the fun keeps coming
Yeah,
on.
exactly. Yeah. That's cool. Get your wife drunk.
Oh my goodness, that's remarkable.
Yeah.
Tell us about the different plans for the frequency shop, Doc.
Yeah, well, there's 3 plans. There's a silver plan, a gold plan, and a platinum plan.
Yep.
The silver plan has like 18 different programs in there. chronic pain for topical stuff, like if you have, sore muscles, achy joints, that kind of stuff, you can apply it with water on topically. Then there's Pain Away 2 for internal stuff. And it was interesting, a good friend of mine, actually he's my promotion guy for the website, he was telling me he had some muscle pain, spasms and all, and he had my Pain Away 2 card, and he imprinted the water, drank it. He said within 5 minutes his pain was gone. He said, I couldn't believe it. So there's all kinds of programs in there, depression, acne, anxiety, you name it. It's just a matter of using the right frequencies to alter the physiology of the body to get the results.
Anti-aging.
And
Yes.
right. And these programs determine which frequency is relevant to which condition.
Yeah, I have a description for each of the programs. So when you click on it, my IT guy's in the process of changing that right now. When you click on it, it lists how it works and what's in there, some of the things that are in there, so you get a better idea when to use certain things. But the magic frequency that I'm finding is scalar energy and the 18 healing frequencies. Why? Because scalar energy is the common denominator in the whole universe. That's what brings materials together to form planets. That's what stimulates the body to bring the necessary materials to heal things. And so it's like a universal healing frequency.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it really is, because you start to think about all the research that you've done and how this heals the body. It's revolutionary.
Absolutely.
It is. So
and it's non-invasive, and it's affordable.
yeah.
And 24/7, you can access it from your phone, your iPad. Okay, there's no supply chain problems.
Right. Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's no prescriptions.
Yep.
You don't have to go to a doctor. I'm telling you, energy medicine is going to be what transitions into the health arena as more people wake up and demand it.
Yeah. And helps more people get well. And I think if you can you summarize what this is, what you've developed over the last decade or so, Doc? Because this is, again, it's a revolutionary moment in time, I think, where, I think people are starting to realize more and more that, this is real stuff.
Yes, it is real stuff. So basically, this form of energy medicine, it's the essence of healing, which is frequencies, okay? So it's an innovative delivery system, okay? It's available 24/7 through common electronic devices, and if you don't have any electronic devices, you can also access it through a Tesla energy card. And the key is that you have immediate access, so you don't have to worry about snail mail, customs blocking it. Like we send certain vitamins up to Canada, customs blocked it, they wouldn't let it in. And the key is, in reality, it's the most efficient delivery system model that you can ever design, because it has all the attributes of positive things.
Yep. And it seems to me, honestly, if you're skeptical at all out there about this, what's the harm in trying this? Because
It can't hurt you.
It's not going to hurt you.
No.
Right?
Right.
Right? Thanks, Doc.
You're welcome.
Elise, what do you think? Amazing, right?
Well, I've been around it, so I've seen its merit. So
Yeah. Ditto. All right, Doc, thanks so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. We will come back with more morning coffee after this message from our sponsors. Don't go away.